Cryptozoology is the search for and study of animals that mainstream science considers to be mythical or non-existent. Animals studied by cryptozoologists are called cryptids. Famous examples include creatures like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and the Yeti. Unsurprisingly, then, there is quite a lot of derision aimed at cryptids in scientific circles. Cryptids are the stuff of low-level tabloid magazines and conspiracy theorists, right? Wrong. Many animals that experts once believed to be cryptids are actually flesh and blood living things. Tonight, we're going to be talking about trees. Trees in the forest, trees in people's yards. Many of us have concern for trees. However, the question about trees moving in unexplainable ways has my interest. How about yours? So there's a tree, in Ecuador that is called a Sacrati exorhizia. It's a palm native to the rainforests in tropical Central and South America. The tree supposedly walks from shade to sunlight by growing roots in the direction it wants to travel, and then allowing the old roots to lift into the air and die. Now that tree moves 20 meters per year. That is an actual moving tree. Other trees move, centimeters, inches. But what about these trees? Pretty odd, right? So how do we explain that? Is it possible that something very, very large is moving these trees? And if so, what is it? And how are they doing it? There are thousands of mountain lion. There's thousands of bear. And people go on living in these areas with these in the thousands and rarely or have never seen them in their area. So is it too far-fetched to ask, is there living things like cryptids in these areas? Perhaps they're moving the trees. We've all investigated the fact that these things may be interdimensional. And I've found that a lot of people think of interdimensional as space to earth, sky to earth, wormholes, portals. Well, I'm gonna be talking about what about underground. Even our United States military has seen these unidentified objects coming from the waters, coming from the earth. Is it out of the realm of possibility that something within our earth instead of space or is that where these beings are coming from, is underground? Now this here with the ground look like it's breathing or moving, that there is usually when the soil has been loosened up by rain or other movements within the earth underneath the ground of the surface. And when you get like a really high wind, the tops of the trees sway back and forth, and sometimes so much that their roots start lifting underneath the ground, which gives the top of the ground a visual effect that looks like it's breathing. And of course the earth is moving because the roots from that tree are lifting in a way that the ground itself around the tree is moving up and down. And it's like a carpet because the top of it is covered with, rocks and moss and things like that, and it makes like a carpet. So of course that would move all together when the tree swayed in the wind. So that can be explained. However, the fact that these other big trees are not just moving in with the wind, but rather they're moving like several feet, or they're just moving a very long distance away. So how do we explain that? So many people have already investigated, going way, way back, about things that happen underground. And people around the world have felt things shaking without there being an actual earthquake. They've heard noises underneath the ground that seems to travel, almost sounds like it's up in the sky. And no one can really explain these things. Some people have found that these things underneath the ground go deep within and go really far back. Some people call them dumbs. Other people call them underground worlds. The possibilities are endless, especially being that we have not yet accomplished what's on Earth or in our own waters, like our oceans, let alone space. And underground, that's a whole new place for some. There's been people like Admiral Richard Byrd, for instance. That'll be another story. But he has a diary where he made accounts for different places that aren't seen by normal people like you and I, where he met people that were not of this world. And he was a man that was very, very respected. He had many accomplishments in life. So who are we to say when so much of this world has been undiscovered, that the realms of the possibilities of these things aren't real? These unexplained things have to have some kind of explanation. So I guess that comes to my question is, what do you all think? Do you think that there's something underground, deep within the Earth's core, that, like some kind of entity or a whole many living species going and surfacing through caves, or however they come through? Is there like a portal maybe down there? What, do you believe in portals? I just want to know what you guys think about this before we go any further. So if you can, let me know what you think in the comment section below, or if you'd rather, drop me an email. It's on screen and also in the description of this video, and also in my about section of this channel. I would really like to hear your thoughts on what you think, because I have a lot of my own. Alright, so thank you again for coming over to Mountain Lake Files, and we'll see you on the next one.